Welcome to Rappahannock Issues. I'm Tom Cohen.
And I'm David Kerr.
And we're going to be looking at topics that are of interest to our community, both regionally and to the state. Welcome to Rappahannock Issues. I'm Tom Cohen. We're looking at the 2016 presidential campaign. And today I am very happy to say we have Brett Colson, who is the Virginia State Director for the Kasich for America campaign. So welcome.
Thank you.
And so we'll just get into it. We have a lot of primaries coming up. And so why should people vote for Governor Kasich?
They should vote for Governor Kasich because he is a man who knows how to fix the problems in government. He balanced the budget 4 times when he was the chairman of the House Budget Committee at a time when we thought with a $5 trillion surplus that the sky was falling, and now we have a $19 trillion surplus. He knows how to address that. He also, in Ohio, he took over a state that had lost 350,000 jobs and had an $8 billion surplus and 89 cents in its rainy day fund. And now, after 5 years, he's turned that around. He's got a $2 billion surplus. He's got $2 billion in the rainy day fund, and he's cut taxes by $5 billion, more than any other sitting governor. So he knows how to do the job, and he can turn this country around. The key thing for him is you have to create a government that is out to create jobs. Jobs are key. With economic growth, you can solve all the other problems that are facing this country.
And the public seems to be desiring an outsider this year. And so how does that fit in with the governor?
Well, John Kasich's been an outsider his entire career. There's no question about that. When he was in the House of Representatives, he fought to reform the Pentagon. He's for a strong defense, but he didn't believe in spending thousands of dollars for hammers. He didn't believe in buying bridles for horses when horses weren't in the military any longer for 50 years. So he fought hard to do that against a lot of entrenched opposition. He pushed to balance the budget. It took him 10 years. His first time he put a Kasich budget together, there was a Republican president, and he got 30 votes. But he kept going. He kept going, and he finally was able to get a majority of votes and a Democratic president to support a balanced budget. And he produced 4 balanced budgets in a row. The last time that had been done was in the Eisenhower administration, and it has not been done since he left Congress.
And this campaign has been rather negative and personal, and yet anybody who's paid any attention has seen that Governor Kasich has taken a completely different tack on that aspect. And so I guess explain sort of where the governor's coming from. You were talking about there was a rally in Richmond at VCU that had really poignant moments where people, anybody who's paid attention has seen some really poignant moments in South Carolina with a young man. And it just seems to be a totally different tone in his campaign.
Well, that's right. I mean, Governor Kasich feels that fundamentally America is a strong country. It's off track. And what he proposes and what to do in this campaign is talk about how do we get it back on track. He's not interested in attacking other candidates. He wants to talk about what he will do for this country, and that is all he is going to do. He's going to talk about, and that's what he did in the debate last night, which was kind of to some extent a demolition derby, but he didn't get into it. He's not going to get into it. He wants to talk about the future that he believes that he can deliver for this country, and I believe it too. He has done it before, so there's no reason to believe he can't do it.
And are you and the governor concerned about this negative tone is going to actually harm the party in November?
I think, from our standpoint, it depends on who the nominee is. Kasich's not engaged in this, so the negative tone is not. I don't think when we get to the election in November, it's not something that's going to affect him. He is polling right now as the strongest Republican candidate against Hillary Clinton. He's by more than 11 points nationwide. So he's the strongest Republican in the field when it comes to winning the national election in November. You know, if it's another Republican candidate, it's anybody's guess what's going to happen. But with John Kasich, the negative tone is not there, and the numbers are very positive. We feel if he's the nominee, he will be the next president of the United States.
And it's sort of interesting that you mentioned about the economy. And that's one of his major focuses. So can you summarize his plan of how he would try to change us from an economy with anemic job growth to moving it forward?
Well, the key thing for him is we want to reduce the regulatory burden on businesses and small businesses in particular. He would freeze regulations for a year, except for health and safety. And he would have the vice president look at our entire regulatory process. But he would also reduce taxes on businesses, on investment, on the death tax, so small businesses can be handed down to their family. He would try to promote the return of investment from overseas to the United States by reducing the tax burden on foreign earned income. So the idea is to improve the economy by reducing the burden on business to create a economic friendly environment. It's what he's done in Ohio, and recent, the numbers in Ohio are 400,000 new jobs. So that is the approach that he's taking, is to be a business friendly administration to create new jobs, to bring the economy out of the doldrums.
And we have a little bit less than 2 minutes left, but with our economy, and we keep saying that the unemployment rate has gone down, but the larger issue is that so many of these jobs are part-time jobs, or people are working more, several part-time jobs, or just given up. And that seems to be a great concern.
Well, in Ohio, that's not the case. In Ohio, those 400,000 jobs have been in the health industry, in automotive, in manufacturing jobs, IT jobs. They're real jobs. Ohio has got a higher growth rate than the national average. Its unemployment rate is lower than the national average. There are jobs coming back from overseas, from Mexico and China. So he's created an environment that really is a laboratory for the entire country that we can replicate this at the national level.
All right, and just before we go to the break, is there a particular website if people have questions or they want to find out more information they can go to?
Yes, johnkasich.com.
All right, and we would like you to come back after this break so that we can continue talking to Mr. Carlson about the Kasich campaign. So come on back after this break.